the all live paper ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's in, well, I'll stay here for the whole 50 minutes, but, so this afternoon, just sort of thinking ahead, we have a couple things that are part of our ongoing conversations. Yesterday, we had a walkthrough of H205 from the sponsors, and Ledge Council is coming in to give the legal walkthrough of the actual language there at 1 o'clock. And we'll have, we got about a half hour, and it won't take a half hour, I think, for him to walk through it. It's a 3-page bill. It's pretty straightforward. Many of you co-sponsored it, so you probably have familiarity already with the language. But just in talking about it yesterday, I think there were some things that came up that maybe we could have conversation about, some edits to it, some changes, some clarification, or I'm not sure what else. So we can start to have that conversation. And then at 1:30, we've got Ellen, the other Ledge Council, I'm sorry, no, Beth St. James will be back, and she's been talking with Rosie Kruger, who came in the other day and was going through some changes that the Agency of Education requests that we consider to the Universal School Meals Bill. And so we'll be able to, at 1:30, have a conversation about those changes. If there's anything that right now it occurs to you from that conversation, and I can sort of walk through the things that were highlighted there, but I'm just curious if there's anything that came up that you heard the other day that was a red flag from what the AOE was requesting. Yeah, John.
Not a red flag, but one thing I keep forgetting about is how summer meals works into this. If they're part of Universal School Meals, the funding that goes with that, because they're certainly included now, at least in some of the language about Universal School Meals. I just wanted to make sure we noted that and ask Beth where it is in the bill.
Okay, good. So we should get clarification, and my understanding, but let's clarify it, is that it's not part of the expense, that it's not included in what we're envisioning.
So who pays for that?
So the federal government pays for whatever currently is happening and would continue to do so, but it's not universal. And
It's
that,
back to free and reduced.
yeah, although it may even be a different formula. I'm not really
But I
sure.
don't-
Yeah.
Who's staffing the school cafeterias this summer? They aren't.
It's not run through the schools, right? It's, yeah.
It's not even on school property.
I was
Sometimes
just
it
thinking
is.
about my personal experience with the summer meals program in Hartford, and I know it's on the ballot right now for town meeting for funding for the summer meals program. And then I know they get grant funding as well, but I don't know beyond, like there's more state or federal. They might be able to pick a little bit from there.
So we'll clarify,
Yeah.
for sure. We'll start by clarifying that.
I'm sorry, you referred to an acronym, and I'm still very rough on the acronyms. OA.
Agency of Education.
AOE.
AOE.
Sorry, yeah, Agency of Education.
What's the O then?
Of,
Oh, okay. All right.
It's a very long word in our.
Yeah, in this one they do. Okay.
yeah, no, you're right. Why is it in that one?
We get it.
AOT, Agency of Transportation, sometimes, yeah.
AOA, Agency of Ed.
Yeah, no.
No?
Yeah, that, yeah.
Right.
So, okay, so we'll get that cleared up, hopefully. Any concerns about how the independent schools fit in? And I think that nobody intended ever to treat one set of independent schools differently than another based on whether they ran their own program or whether it was through, the local supervisory union. So that seems like it was just, let's be sure that we're treating everybody the same there. Anything else?
Structurally, the grant for the for the rural component of the purchasing. Is that attached to this bill or is it a separate bill? I mean, how does that work?
So local purchasing incentive?
Yes.
Yeah, so, right, and right now, there are two separate things that we can combine into one essentially, and I think that's what we may end up doing. So what we just heard from the major supplier of ground beef was that they would like to be doing more. And then there's a question about some of it's happening in New Hampshire. And is that actually qualifying? And it was interesting to hear his response. My understanding, based on a straight reading of the rule, was it shouldn't be counted. And our committee somebody, you asked me, Dave, so we can certainly have something to say about that. And I think this would be a good place to do that.
Wait, what did you just say? Because it's processed in New Hampshire, it doesn't count?
Yes,
Because it doesn't meet the local
It
definition.
doesn't meet the
We heard
definition.
Oh, I was wondering about that,
for
okay.
the grant.
It's 4 miles away or something, just over the border. And it's their own facility. They own it. Sounds, I didn't even know that, but they bought it.
So is process part of it?
That's part of the definition that, yeah.
Protein.
But we don't have to stick to that. So easy enough with the, soy milk pen.
Limiting, especially since there seems to be a processing shortage
Yeah, maybe that could be the stipulation, is that if we can't offer those services,
in a timely way.
right?
I think
You gotta be careful too, that if you open it up for this guy, you open it up for other slaughterhouses. But out of state.
Right.
Hmm.
So, right, so how do we, if we
You
want
gotta be
to, if we
able
want to
to
do that,
discuss.
do it in
Right.
such a way that it doesn't open the floodgates, yeah.
You gotta open it up to New York,
10:20. 10:30.
Hampshire, so.
But as long as.
I believe only 10:20.
Raised in Vermont, process it.
And we have to define that raised portion. Is on
The fact that he owns it, is Vermont owned?
A Vermont owned processor.
Yeah, that might help, I don't know.
That did help.
So let's think about that while you're voting over the next.
Wouldn't it take an hour and a half to put 3 trustees in UVM?
Apparently.
Or do we have to
they
vote for
Yeah,
Sergeant
we
at
have-
Arms?
We have to also wait for the Senate to come in and,
Right, we stand, we don't
very
slide.
formal, yeah.
It's the process that take a long time, it's not the voting.
And people, they were,
Procedure.
Send it in and out, people.
Oh, that's why it takes, okay.
Get nominated. Second.
Maine.
Sergeant of Arms will probably be a voice vote and trustees will be a paper ballot.
Yeah. There's only one candidate for Sergeant at Arms.
Yeah, so as far as I
As
know.
far as I know, too.
that's why last year it wasn't paper ballot, it was uncontested, right?
For Sergeant of Arms,
There are more than 3 running for a UVM. There are.
There are 4.
Hmm.
well, only 3
That's,
Have to eliminate one.
so that's why we didn't
Last
actually.
year it was not for
Nominating
state colleges,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
And it's seconding.
Okay.
so that was,
Yep.
and it was uncontested.
Was only last night.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So we can just.
Okay, anybody have